People of the internet, today we are going to see exactly what it was like for Dave Chappelle and Bad Friends to ride that Saudi money train and fill their pockets full of cash while they performed at the Riyadh Comedy Festival in Saudi Arabia. Let's take a look. You know, something like this makes me think, could this be the thing that puts a giant dent towards the ending of the Rogan sphere? Could this finally be the thing? You know, with all of this political turmoil and international turmoil and wars and everything like this, could something like this really hurt, I guess, their careers and maybe in the broader scope, the Rogan sphere? I don't know about Bad Friends. I feel like it wouldn't hurt them because, I mean, Bobby Lee's a part of it. And if you're a Bobby Lee fan, you've already overcome a whole bunch of shitty stuff. And you're still there. But the other guys, like Dave Chappelle, this guy, I guess you would say, who stood up for what he believed in and for better things and fair treatment and entertainment. And then he goes over there knowing how America feels about that place and knowing that a lot of the people that support the Rogan sphere and Dave Chappelle as well have all been this, patriotic, fight for your rights, freedom of speech crowd. And I don't know. I kind of feel like this is spitting in their face. I mean, but on the other hand, right? Should an artist be able to go to all countries despite politics? That's another argument.
They landed like a late night sketch. Dave Chappelle on the marquee, the Bad Friends duo, Bobby Lee and Andrew Santino, listed for a live show, and a city trying to prove it can host a world-class laugh festival while also wearing a PR gloss that some observers call painfully shiny. The Riyadh Comedy Festival opened with A-list names on the bill and a predictable public relations backlash that reads like a travel brochure written by an apologetics committee. The event is real. The lineup is real.
Do you see that? Empty seats. There's a lot of empty seats. Even Saudi Arabian people don't like the Rogan sphere.
Real, and the conversation around it has been loud. On one hand, there's the simple human fact that comedians perform and fans crave live laughs. For many Saudis and international visitors, seeing big-name acts in Riyadh felt like cultural currency, a sign the city is opening, if only in headline form. Some attendees and ticket holders were genuinely excited. Comedy, after all, is one of the few art forms that still trades in the immediate high of an audience sharing a split second of surprise and recognition.
It's amazing.
See, that's the other argument. Shouldn't the fans in other countries be able to see these guys? We're not doing it because of the politics. Because if you look at it, all these arguments with other countries, all this international turmoil, it's not the people that live there doing it. It's the politicians, the military, the corporations, right? So shouldn't fans, could you say that comedians are kind of like a peacekeeper in a way, and they could go in and spread laughter and joy? But then the thing is, they're not just selling tickets and collecting, right? They're getting paid off by the government. And I mean, I should look it up, but I would really want to know. I think it was because they needed to expand outside of like oil and stuff like that they're trying to buy up. Like, they're literally trying to buy up everything entertainment. It's crazy. It's crazy. You would not see this 10 years ago. 10 years ago, they were just in their country rich as shit. And now it just seems like things are shifting on the globe. It's crazy and also extremely weird.
Actually, it's really, really well organized. I'm really surprised. I'm not surprised that it's well organized because, you know, I know that you guys do amazing stuff, but it's new, it's exciting, and it's something completely out of what normal we found here in Saudi Arabia. I love it.
Honestly, like, I'm very surprised with like how nice it was and how we really wanted to come to see what it was going to be. Like nobody knew too much what to expect, and
Is it just me or is it Saudi Arabia? This guy, he goes to a comedy show and his description is nice. Are there people behind the camera pointing things at him? Everyone's just so scared to say anything if you don't want to be in camera over there. But on the other hand, that could be the wrong perception. But because I don't live there, okay? I really don't know. But it just feels weird to call a comedy show nice. If that's what you thought of it, you know?
and we had a blast. Like we had tickets for 2 days, and now I'm regretting that I don't have tickets for all the days because like it's been an amazing experience, honestly.
I saw Whitney last.
Are all like the Google and Yelp reviews in Saudi Arabia like 5 stars? Oh shit. Oh man. Okay.
Last night, and she was great. But I'm also looking forward to Kevin Hart and Jack Wilshere.
Oh, I really like it. Yesterday I went to Bill Burr. Today is Chris D'Elia.
On the other hand, a chorus of critics, fellow comedians, human rights
Bro, who the fuck made that video? Oh my god, dude, that's like, oh man. It's so crazy when an event makes a video about how great it is, when the event itself makes its own video about how great it is. I don't think we're going to get a negative response out of anybody over there, okay?
organizations and social media users frame the festival as an attempt at image laundering. Concerns center on Saudi Arabia's documented human rights abuses and broader unease about performing for a government with a long and controversial record. Critics pointed to the timing, the optics, and the fact that money talks very loudly in these negotiations. Some raised the even more explosive charge that the kingdom's role in regional geopolitics intersects with unresolved questions and resentments that predate this festival. In short, the stage was always going to be a political one.
All right, behind.
Wait, did anybody? He was zooming into the article, but did you read some of the article? I think it was like the bottom paragraph in the frame. It says, "I'm doing this because they offered me a large sum of money." This is Tim Dillon, in quotes. And the next quote from Tim Dillon is, "They're paying me enough money to look the other way." Now, if that's the case with Tim Dillon, and he's in the Rogan sphere, you know, here's a decision. There's a point in your life where you choose to have shady friends, and if you have shady friends, you know exactly what the fuck they're doing. Right? So if Tim Dillon is doing that, what is the rest of the Rogan sphere doing that? And does that make a better case if he is willing to state that and say, "I will look the other way for enough money"? Is that what the Rogan sphere has done for its political, switch in the past couple of years? Are people paying them to look the other way and say what they want them to say? At the end of the day, though, I always have to say this because you want to always seem like you're right and you have the right morals and what you're saying is the right thing. But none of us know. Because you wonder, why does this type of behavior keep continuing? Well, if you're at the top, and you're doing this fucked up shit to humanity and the people that are living during the time, you have to know what it's really all about. And you know it's all a sham And you know, like, fuck it, survival of the fittest. And maybe that's why they always just turn to greed, because fuck it. None of this really matters. I don't know. I can't figure it out. So I'm putting something out there.
I mean, right there is Phil Mickelson, the face of this new golf league.
Oh,
being
live.
controlled by the Saudi government. $100 million. That's all it took for him to come here. And I guess forget about that journalist that was chopped up by the Saudi government. Hey, Phil, give us a wave. Let's go. Yeah. Yeah, give me a look. Yes, thumbs up. Thank you. All right.
Last hour, Phil Mickelson teed off here at the 16th hole just behind me. Here's what happened.
Do it for the Saudi royal family.
One more time and we'll escort you out.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I am sorry. I'm very sorry. I'm very sorry. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry.
Not every comedian was willing to hop on that plane. Atsuko Okatsuka publicly said no, posting what she described as the offer letter and the festival's content restrictions, explaining that she turned the gig down and exposing the kind of editorial strings attached to performing there. Her choice added texture to the debate. This isn't just a moral yes or no.
Did you see that? The thing said you can't do comedy that like degrades or embarrasses or offends the Saudi royal family. Like, I'm just saying, no one wants you to know about how they do things over there. I don't even know if it's about the money. Like, you're like, oh shit, that's a lot of money, I should take it. But are you going to come back? Imagine going to do a set. Imagine stepping on a stage in Saudi Arabia and you got to do a comedy set, knowing how American comedy. What do you even talk about? What do you even talk about that could not get you in trouble? You know, you sit up there, you tell a joke, it's out of line, and you didn't think you just drop on the stage. It ain't about the money, it's about coming back alive.
It's also a contract negotiation about what counts as allowable comedy.
Yeah.
Her screenshots and posts quickly became part of the newsroom feed that asked whether accepting would mean self-censorship or worse, complicity.
Steve Byrne calls me, and Steve Byrne goes, "You want to go to Israel?" I go, "Why?" That's my response, right? He goes, "It's free. They'll fly you out."
You come on, you didn't do Birthright and pretended you were Jewish.
No.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, I didn't do that. No, but he said, no, the government, Israeli government is flying out like celebrities for free out there to do a tour for free, and it's on the house. They fly you first class, the whole thing.
Wow.
And I go, "Oh, who's going?" He goes, "It's going to be me, you, George Lopez, Jamie Chung, Brian Greenberg, her husband."
I like it. I love him.
I love Brian, right? And I go, "It's free?" And they go, "Yeah, it's not free." Because when you land there, they go, "You have to every day tweet positive things about Israel."
The controversy hasn't landed evenly on every performer. Dave Chappelle, who has been no stranger to controversy in recent years, was, somewhat surprisingly to some observers, relatively spared the same level of sustained online scolding aimed at other acts. Meanwhile, Bill Burr has repeatedly become a punching bag in this particular debate, perhaps because his public persona and comedic premise make his decision feel like a sharper sort of betrayal to some fans.
Anybody else been added to the list?
I think Tim Dillon was.
That doesn't blow my mind.
No, Tim is the fucking.
Tim's the
Tim
exact
is soulless.
person that would do it.
Yes.
Yeah, and like merrily and be like, "I don't care."
Yeah.
I get that. Whitney.
They're paying me seven
Whitney surprises
figures.
me. Burr surprises me. Louis surprises me.
Burr's coming to Skankfest?
No, this is for the
talking about the Saudi
Arabian Comedy Festival.
Why the asymmetry?
Yeah, you know, in Dave Chappelle's case, it's just how much money is enough money. That man at least has 100 million. He got 60 million for the first set of specials, I think, on Netflix. And I'm sure he's made a killing on tour, and I'm sure he got money from all kinds of places. So you have to ask yourself, like, how much money is enough money? And if you have that much money, do you still give up your values or what you stood for? It just seems really hypocritical. But the thing is, hey, check this out. If you didn't hear earlier, Dave already set up a show for next year, so Dave don't give a fuck. And that's the thing. We sit here and we try to be all moralistic. I get it. We sit here and we try to go, oh, there's bad people. And in reality, who really knows? In reality, who really knows? So why not take care of yourself? That's like the other side of the argument. And just seeing how the world works, it's like, why wouldn't you do that, right? But if you have any bit of hope in you that maybe the world will get better and being off in a better place after you leave, and that people will have more freedoms to, healthcare and education and just general human freedoms, like some places don't even have that. It's just like these things, really don't sit well with you. But if you have like $1.7 million check and you only got $42.76 in the bank and there's a $1.7 million check and from that $42, you got to get $20 worth of groceries and $10 worth of gas and then have $10 left over for emergencies. Okay. And then some guy says 1.7, because I don't think Bill Burr's that rich. He's definitely a millionaire and definitely well off. But I mean, if you were paid $1 million something to do a comedy set for, what'd they say, 600 to 900 people, so a nice comfortable show for these big guys, right? And what was it, like 30 minutes or 90 minutes at the most? Imagine $1 million just go talk some shit for 30 minutes. Bro. See? That's the mindset you'd be in. These are the things you got to haggle with. So it's a tough question. Do we please the moral side of the internet, or do we fill up our banks and take care of our families? You know what I mean? These are what these people had to think. And hey, check it out. They said, fuck them people on the internet. That's what they did. And they lapped in luxury.
Partly it's about audience expectations and partly about timing. Some comics have reputations that insulate them. Others depend on different kinds of fan trust that can evaporate quickly when optics turn sour. Social platforms amplified everything. Threads, Reddit posts, X/Twitter threads, and TikToks became the digital amphitheaters where jokes, hot takes, and moral calculus were performed for free. Some threads were defensive, arguing comedians shouldn't be expected to serve as foreign policy moral arbiters, while others were merciless, framing performances as performative cash-ins. The weekend became a reminder that in the internet age, a comedy tour is never just a comedy tour. It's a cultural event with an immediate and permanent audit trail. If there's a bottom line, it is this. Comedians who accept invitations to places with fraught political reputations will always be doing two things at once: telling jokes and sending a signal. Audiences will decide whether they're there for the set or for the signal, and critics will decide whether this counts as art, complicity, or both.
There it is.
For performers like Bobby Lee and Andrew Santino, the immediate response from fans in Riyadh was mostly warm. For critics far away, the show became a front in an ongoing debate about money, morality, and the limits of stand-up's freedom of speech. The festival did what festivals do. It gave people something to talk about, and not everyone walked away laughing.
That's crazy. Going over the Middle East just seems so scary right now. There's just people going buck wild over there as leaders of countries and just murking people left and right. throwing missiles in the air and throwing them at every country it wants to. And it just seems to be a dangerous place, the Middle East right now, and dangerous politically too. And I just feel overall that this is of that money, you took it, whether you were there just to perform comedy or you knew what was up, right? You took it, and that's dangerous money. They have your information. I bet all them hotel rooms were filmed. You know what I mean? I bet. Anyways, I'm starting to go down a conspiracy rabbit hole now, right? Right? All conspiracies are conspiracies. Let me know what you think in the comments. Peace.